you can export part of your set of images as a separate catalog, and then you can import that kind of sub-catalog into the catalog of another computer. If you look at the import and the export buttons in the lower left, watch what happens if I hold down the Option key. It says import a catalog or export a catalog. One reason you'd want to use that is, let's say that you have a laptop and you have a desktop machine, and you go out in the field to shoot. You're away for a week. You go to Iceland and you're shooting. And you launch Lightroom and you create a brand new catalog, because the only thing you're going to work on when you're in Iceland is you're going to work on all the images you shoot while you're there. So you create a brand new catalog, you create a folder called Iceland, and inside that folder you have day 1, day 2, day 3, and so on to store your images. While you're there, you also put those images into collections as you're sorting them, hoping to do a slideshow when you get home. And when you return from Iceland, you have this Lightroom catalog that contains only Iceland photos. And now you're home. You go to your desktop machine, which has got your massive hard drive hooked to it, that has your entire photo archive. You copy the folders that contain your images and the folder that contains the Lightroom catalog off of your laptop onto an external drive, and you plug it into your desktop machine. So you got that catalog that you made in Iceland, you got all the images you shot in Iceland. Then right here, you hold down the Option key, you'll find a choice called Import Catalog. It's holding down the Alt key in Windows. Or you can go, I believe at the end of the File menu, will be a choice called Import from Another Catalog. And you could now select the catalog that was from Iceland that you made and tell it to import it. And it can import all the photos. It can import all the collections and everything else from that. In essence, you're merging two catalogs. So let me see if I have a catalog.
And of course, all the edits go with that. All the edits that you've done.
All the edits. I just got to remember in here, because I wasn't planning to do this. Somewhere in here is another Lightroom catalog. It's not the date. Oh, it's probably in here. There it is. The catalog I used yesterday, for all our stuff. So I think that might be this one, Lightroom Mastery. I'm going to choose. Okay, so now this is coming up, and this is all the stuff I believe that I used yesterday. Because I had a separate catalog. We created it from scratch yesterday, and we started importing things. Today I started from a catalog that I copied off my hard drive on my laptop. So different catalog. And this shows us all the stuff. I can turn on these checkboxes to tell it which of those things I'd like it to think about. Then file handling, I can tell it to add those new folders to this catalog without moving them, so they'd stay on the external drive. Or I could copy new photos to a new location, meaning copied over to where I usually have my images, and hit import. And now I'm going to have more folders over here, because it's going to have copied all the stuff out of that other catalog. I'll have them all imported to this one, and I'll have additional collections, whatever collections were in that catalog. So you could use that. You can export areas if you select a folder or a collection. You can export that as a catalog, which means it's going to contain all the images that were used there and all the collections, and then import it on another machine to kind of move that data over. So yeah, now I have these images from yesterday that we were working with. So anyway, you'd have to experiment with exporting and importing catalogs, and you'd be able to, I believe, achieve what you're looking for.
If you have collections of the same name, will it merge the contents? Let's say if you have your portfolio one in your Iceland catalog, will it merge that with your existing portfolio?
I believe it might create a duplicate, but I'm not certain there. I'd have to look for sure. I don't want to answer that with an assumption. All right. Well, why don't we get into other stuff? I just wanted to make sure we didn't go too far before we had questions. So there are a couple other features that are useful in the library. These are features that one of the features I use a lot, another of the features I don't use very often, but some other people that have different workflows than me might find to be useful. So I want to make sure you're aware of them. So let's see if I can I want to look at the folder that contains these